Hello, I am Kathleen Walker. And this is Andy Shirty. And this is the Swim Run Cape Cod athletes meeting tonight. And we are from New England Endurance Events. Um, the way that we normally do our athletes meetings, we'll start off with anything new for this race. And since the weather has not cooperated the last 2 years, everything's new. But we'll just try to narrow it down for you to just like the most needed stuff. And then we'll go over the course a little bit. We'll go over the schedule. There'll be a time at the end for questions and answers. So throw any questions you might have in the chat, and we will get to that as we get through to that section. So hopefully that will help you guys out. Um, all right. Are we ready? Thank you guys. All there's a number of you on. We are all really looking forward to seeing you Friday night for packet pickup or the swim run race clinic on Friday and of course Saturday morning. Um, Andy, haven't
Yeah,
given you an opportunity to talk at all, which is nothing unusual. So,
we'll argue it out later. Uh, but yes, welcome to everyone. And we are going to try to go through this in a logical order, but leave room for questions after. And we'll answer every question and stay here as late as we need to. But as you know, if you see we've given you what you need and you've got the athlete's guide, which I think is pretty thorough, to guide you, and you need to put the kids to bed or something, we won't take it personally. So,
all right, all right. So we're going to start off with a screen share, and there we go. So in case Uh, and as I was saying, in case you don't know where the athlete's guide is, check your email. I thought I had it in here, but clearly I don't. So let's just jump in. All right, so the schedule. I mentioned Friday, that's at Swim Clinic. It's at Long Pond Beach, which is one of the beaches for both distances. That's thanks to Team Envol and Chris Douglas from the Low Tide Boys. If Chris is able to get there, he'll be flying in. So if Chris is able to be there, he will. But the folks from Team Envol are superb. They have been doing this a long time. They're all over the world. You'll learn lots if you can make it on Friday, 3 to 4. Packet pickup is at a different pond. This is different than what's in the athlete's guide. I will change the athlete's guide tomorrow. Um, the packet pickup will be at Gull Pond. So Gull Pond is the fourth pond for the longer. Um, no, it can't be the fifth. Is it? Gull Pond's the fifth,
yeah.
but then six. Oh, all right, fifth pond. So Gull Pond is the fifth pond for the longer distance. I know Bruce is counting too. I was thinking four. And it is the first pond for the short course. So that will be good. You'll be able to see kind of where all that is. Short course people, you'd be like, yep, this is where I'm coming to. That's 4 to 6. Um, the Saturday starting 7:30 to 8:30 is your packet pickup. It is also the time that the buses are running to Ballston Beach. At Ballston Beach and at the Congregational Church. There is porta potties at either location. If you bring a jacket or sweatshirt or anything like that to the beach before the race starts, we will have like a big Rubbermaid box. You can throw that in. We'll bring it to the finish line so you can pick it up later. Or if you have a loved one that is coming to Ballston Beach, they can grab it for you, of course. There isn't a lot of parking at Ballston Beach. I think we end up taking up a bit. Plus, where the buses are, there might only be 15, 20 spaces if we're lucky that are going to be available once we're all done.
Just pointing out something quickly. We have a little error in this
Uh-oh.
schedule. The fourth item on Saturday, bus service to Gull Pond. This is for the short course athletes. It will not start at 7:30. It'll start at 8:30 and it will
Sorry.
run till 9:45. Um, or
Sorry
about
about that.
9:30.
I think it's right in the
Yeah.
athlete's guide. It was just Kathleen's little fingers didn't get that right.
Okay.
So if you are a short course athlete, please don't come to the Congregational Church until 8:30, just so we can get the long course folks out of there. There's more of them. And it's going to be, usual mayhem of race start. And we don't want you on the wrong bus. I hate for you to end up at Boston Beach when you actually need to be at Gull Pond. So we will have buses running to both ponds, but at separate times. Um, and same deal, Gull Pond actually has more parking. So if you have loved ones that want to watch you start and then they get to watch you swim, that's not a bad plan. There is some parking there. Maybe there's 30 spaces there. So that's probably good for most of you. Um, the Yeah, I just realized how I had this a long course. Oh, there we go. Okay, so the long course start, we got that. Um, Buses will be going back from each start. So if you have spectators that want to watch you without driving over, they want to hang on to their good parking space, then they can take the bus back. So that won't be a problem. We have more than one bus, so the buses will circulate so that way everyone can get on and get off.
Yeah, and for those who don't have a family member to give your t-shirt to or your light
Sweatshirt
jacket or sweatshirt, we will have a bin at the start line.
of
So
both
both,
distances.
so that you can toss. It's like the Boston Marathon. Just toss your shell in the bin, and you'll probably find it when you get back after the race.
You will, and please look for it because we have a whole collection of stuff that has been left throughout the season for everybody else. So please. All right. And then basics. Um, we do provide safe swimmer buoys. The big buoys, they are big enough. Someone was asking me yesterday, are they like someone who wants to take off their shoes when they swim? Are they big enough for your shoes? So this is ours. This is what you'll get. This fits Andy's shoes because inside there's a little compartment. It's not super dry. So if you have a phone or something like that, then put that in a Ziploc and then put it in here. But it's great for shoes because your feet are going to get wet anyway. So Andy, what size shoe are you?
11.
There we go. So this will fit a size 11 shoe in here, as long as the Hokas might not, but I think any of the others are a little smaller. They'll fit in here. Certainly my shoes fit in that.
They're all max cushioning now, so
Yes.
it'd be best to bring yours that you're absolutely
Well, yeah, I'm just saying what will fit in the buoy.
or keep the shoes on,
Or
which
you can
I'll
do
get
that
to
too.
later.
Right. Okay.
There was a question, if you go back to the prior one, because I want to make sure we didn't miss it. All right, so long course check-in, short course check-in. By check-in, we mean you can pick up your packet if you didn't pick it up on Friday. Uh, and then everyone needs to check in to say, I'm here.
Right. In the morning. Yeah,
Not
even
that
if
I
you
got sick at the hotel and I just,
right,
not to come.
right. Yeah. So if you wouldn't mind just actually Jeff will be making sure everyone's in before you guys go. There's always somebody who gets sick the night before. Okay, so let's see how we are. There we go. So now we're back. So the rest tubes, Andy's got one around here somewhere. These are on loaner. They are much more, there we go. Got it. So these rest tubes are on loaner for the teams only, or if you have your own, that's fine. But each member of the team, lift up. Each member of the team will get one of these, and then please return it at the finish line.
You pull this and you get yourself basically a safe swimmer buoy that will pop out.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Hydration on the course. We have Drip Drop. We've used it all season. We love it, and the athletes have loved it throughout the season. So that's what will be on the course. And then Andy's favorite nutrition. So it's all right there for you, the gels and blocks and bars and all of that stuff. We'll probably have some Boom out because I like Boom, so I'm going to put that out for you guys. Obviously there'll be water as well, and pickle juice. So I think we have pickle juice for each of the aid stations. So we'll just have little cups for that.
I'm not a honey stinger guy.
You're
So
not?
someone else put that in.
No, that was you've had that
And
on the list.
go.
All right, in any case, there we go. This is what you have. So restrooms and aid stations. You can see that list. The only spot that there will not be a porta potty or an actual bathroom is that the Slough and Herring Ponds. And I know we've had some questions about like if you look at the map, it's like, whoa, what are we doing where? So I broke that down because it makes it easier for me and it might be for you. I'll show you where that water stop is there. Remember, there's no porta potties, but there's lots of ponds and woods. But there's no porta potties in that area.
Can I mention something about sustainability in our pledge? Like most swim run events, there's a real heightened awareness of conservation, sustainability, of best practices as we are in nature. Uh, and you do not open up a goo, suck it down, and toss it to the side. You have basically what you bring in, you have to bring out, except if you see one of our trash containers at near each of the aid stations, and there are a few public ones. Actually, I think they brought them in for
Yeah.
winter. Um, anyways, you can throw something in there. But other than that, what you come in is you go out with, and but as far as water goes,
But we
we
have
will have
cups.
cups.
Hmm.
Okay.
We will
Some
have cups.
races you have
You
to
bring
bring
your
your
own.
own
Yeah.
collapsible cup.
Yeah.
So
So this brings us something else. I'm going to take off share for a second because this is very serious and it's really awkward that we have to bring it up in the first place, but we're talking about restrooms. We have now had two races this season where somebody has had the need during a race and has gone into the neighbor's property.
yeah.
And unfortunately, a lot of people now have like cameras around their house. And so they have sent us pictures saying, hey, it looks like one of your, racers has been on my property and peed behind my barn. I am not making this up. This is totally real and so embarrassing for us. And we couldn't figure out which one of the porters
Well,
Steve Summit.
okay,
There
you
was,
answer.
in any
But
case, we couldn't figure out who it was, but it was like so like, so
our rangers who will be with us on this day are very particular about how the National Park Service, the National Cape Cod Seashore is treated. So please just keep that in mind in almost everything you do.
that's true. And there's lots of ponds. So if you could uh, aim that way. Okay, so now here we go back. Now we had that serious moment, awkward, serious moment is now over. So here we go again. So timing is just start and finish. We're not timing at each pond. Usually people ask about tethers for the teams. You can, you don't have to. Um, and of course, everyone needs to, team members finish together, and the awards will approximately 1 p.m. And that's the Copper Swan, which is different than where we were planning on last year. Um, and then do you want to bring up the pink flags?
We can bring up the pink
Okay,
flags. I
what
did
else do
want
you
to
have?
mention on tethers, just because I was asked this question last week, what is a tether? So basically tether is a rope. It's usually there's some elasticity to it. And some teams will, both on the run and the swim, or one or the other, they will tether themselves to each other. So that, say, the faster swimmer can help bring along the slower swimmer. Same thing with the running. Um, they are allowed. You can also just swim near your teammate as you complete your swim, and the two of you are separate. Uh, but if you do decide to use a tether, please practice beforehand. And if you haven't practiced yet, it might be too late to,
Just don't bother.
I mean,
Yeah.
go running around in the dark with pulling somebody is probably not a good idea. So
Okay, so pink flags. So I have a big note here because Dawn has asked me to do so. Dawn, one of our most amazing assistant race directors, is marking the course single-handedly, and she has pink flags that have our logo. Andy's about to show it to you, so it looks just like that. Pink flags.
they're like the flag you might see a landscaper put on when he's applied pesticide or dig safe, that
Yes,
sort of
sir.
thing.
Yeah. So that flag is all along the course on the right. So if you ever have a question as to, am I going the right way? If you look to your right, she puts a ton of signs all over. Anytime that there's a question of what way do I go, or even just am I going the right way, you will see a pink flag. Now, there's one spot where you're going to get a little, you might get a little confused. I'm going to show it to you in just a minute. But the pink flags, if they're always on the right, you are going the right way. Can you want to show the yellow flag for the short? You
Yeah.
want to wait and explain that
No,
one later?
just the short course racers will see uh, these for their very first run. Once again, on the right-hand side, and they'll see yellow small flags on the very first run. On all the other runs of the short course race, you'll be following pink because you'll actually be following the same route as the long course racers. The reason why we have this is really for about 25 yards where there will be both pink and yellow. If we didn't have the yellows, we are worried that a long course racer will start running toward the short course start. So hopefully that's clear. I think we got it
We'll
in the
show it.
athlete's
Yeah,
guide,
yeah. And
but
we,
yeah.
we can show it on the map too. All right. So just wanted to mention that too. All right. So the parking is a little different this year than it was for those of you that came last year. Um, so Copper Swan is way over here. So this is where the finish will be. Long Pond, I know it's hard to tell. Long Pond's right here. So like all the race t takes place like are as you're finishing along here. There is the Congregational Church. There's all sorts of parking in the back of that, but our packet pickup will all be in the front parking lot. If for some reason that were to fill up, then there's the Methodist Church. They allow parking to the public. They ask for you to make some kind of donation. That would just be nice. We'll make a donation at the end of the morning,
They have
just in
a
case others have
yeah,
them.
they
They have
have
a
a
little
box,
box.
little box there.
Um, and then if that were to fill up, then you could go down to town hall. There's plenty of parking there, and I wouldn't give them any kind of donation. I mean, they're actually very sweet, but still, it's not not expected. And then for VIP parking, anyone who's purchased VIP parking, that's going to be at the Copper Swan. Actually, ends up kind of being in the back right there. So we will have parking people at both the as we call it, the Congo, and the Copper Swan. So you could park at either one if you have a VIP parking. You'll just park there and then walk over to the Congregational Church for packet pickup.
I think I'll mention too, this is all for the Saturday race. Weather forecast is terrific, might be a little bit on the cool side, but it's looking good. We did put in plans, and many of you know the reason why we thought we did this. We put in plans to have the race on Sunday if Saturday we got hit by a hurricane, as unlikely as that might seem. And so uh, the parking there will be different because we can't be parking at churches on a Sunday. So it's all in the athlete's guide,
We won't jinx ourselves by
and
talking about it.
we will send out detailed email with instructions, but it's not going to happen because we're looking at a wonderful day.
Right, exactly. Okay, so the long course, we've got Boston Beach here. Remember, if you've got anything that you want to wear there, not a problem. You'll throw it in the box. And I wasn't going to go through the whole course. Do you want to do that? I'm gonna do that like the short course, like where those yellow flags are and stuff. But
I'll give a shorty. We'll make it real quick here. But basically, for the long course, you start on the beach. You are going to be running on the beach. It's you'll hear the Chariots of Fire theme music coming from the clouds up above you. Uh, it is you have to make a decision as to whether or not you want to run close to the water's edge, which is a firmer sand surface, or if you like to run up by the dunes, which is not as firm, but it's a shorter distance because when you do run that 3/4 of a mile, you can just make a quick right turn and up you go. And when I say up you go, I mean up you go because you're going to be climbing a cliff. And unless some of you have amazing balance, you may even use your hands as well as your feet to climb up certain sections of it. Uh, Once you hit the top there, then you're in something that is a little bit might remind you of Scotland or Ireland if you've ever been there. We've got the Highlands sort of Truro, and you're going to run uh, uh, through this scrub brush. and out to some pretty amazing views of the Atlantic. And then you'll come move yourself back into the scrub brush around the 2 mile mark and through it starts to become wooded as you come down to a paved road. You're going to be running that paved road and then down a trail to snow. After snow, there is a short period on pavement, but then you're going to be on sand for a long time. And I don't mean loose sand. It's pretty firm and also pine needles. It's not a it's pretty good running surface. And you'll go through Snow Pond, Herring Pond, Hingham Pond, Gull Pond. Uh, After Gull Pond, um, you've got probably the longest run of the race, but even that's only a couple miles. Well, actually, after the first run, we're just over 3 miles. But you'll work your way to through Long Pond and then Great Pond.
Okay. Sorry. So don't
That's all right.
you keep going. I'm looking at
That's
this.
so that's a quick rundown of the long course.
Okay, excellent. Thank you. Sorry, I wanted this next one. So this is what I was saying, like a little snapshot because we've had some questions about, as you saw when Andy was showing you the long course, there's that one section that you kind of backtrack, and that's been confusing for some, including me when I went out there. So I just wanted to kind of show you that, and I'll explain I know that Eric and Melissa were back and forth about like, wait a minute, how many aid stations? We just added one aid station, but I'll show you
Where that
where that
is.
is. That way you understand, because it's actually kind of between two ponds. So that's why it says like slough versus
Right.
herring.
So we do have a little bit of an interesting run here between the
Okay.
ponds, and this is all because of the permitting authorities took one pond away from us, but allowed us to have another pond. But there is no easy way to do
Of
it, so
course.
we have to do it this way.
Yeah, we're all right. So we start off, you're going to be coming from your run and you'll go into slough, you come across, and then when you come out of slough, you're going to make a right and you're going to go all the way down. And it's going to look like, oh, I should just be able to cut right across, and you don't. We'll have somebody right there. And so you'll make that right and you'll go down to somewhere along here in Herring. There's a couple of ponds that are you're entering from private property. So it's just somewhere in this general direction. Whoops, there we go. So you'll go across Herring, and there'll be somebody else there for you, flags and a sign, and you'll make a left. So, oh, sorry, I keep losing my cursor. So you make a left, and then you're going to go right back here, and so you're going to see this is two-way traffic. So you're going to see. Remember before I was saying like, remember pink flags are on your right. You'll see pink flags. Oh, lost the cursor again. You'll see pink flags this way, but remember you were going that way. You'll see pink flags on that side too. Andy has a sign that says two-way traffic. So there's a reminder. You're also going to see Katie right here, and that's where that extra water stop's going to go. So when we've been around the ponds, there's a number of us at all different configurations. I've been around these ponds over the last week, including Bruce Prangley that is right here. And Bruce, thank you for being on and being a swim run advocate here on the Cape. Um, the we've been all through there and realized that you're doing a lot of running through this and there's no water stop, there's no easy water stop. So although we can't bring a porta potty down there, we can bring a table and water and some nutrition for you. So it's going to end up right here in this corner, so you'll pass it when you go past out of Slough, and then you'll pass it again when you came out of Herring. So that's what I mean by that. So that actually gives us 5 water stations because this one is kind of together. So you get to pass it twice.
But as long as the pink flag is on your right, you're good.
Right. So all right. So then you'll follow down here. You'll make a right. You'll see the pink flags. And then you'll come down, get into Higgins. And you see where there's yellow arrows. So that's the short course are getting there. So this is the first time that the long course and the short course are meeting up. So short course is going to be coming, they're in this parking lot over here. And they're going to go up Old uh, Schoolhouse Hill Road. And it's a Jeep trail. They're going to go all the way up. They're going to come around and they're going to meet up right here with those that are coming out of Higgins. There is just a little, um, road, if you want to even call it that, more like a glorified path that is sand. And then you'll get into Higgins here.
Mantico.
Oh, that's Gull. Sorry, thank you. You'll get into Gull, and then everybody, whether you're long course or short course, are gonna, there's a little trail right on the outside of the parking lot, and it's marked. And it's like between two trees, and they happen to already have some orange, I guess they're getting ready to take down the trees, so they've got like big orange markers on it. We'll have our own stuff, and you go and you run into the woods right there. It will all be marked. But from that point, short and long courses are together. You have anything else you wanted to add to that one, or do you think that
Nope,
pretty, did I, sometimes
I
my
think we
trying to
can move
explain
on.
it makes it worse.
Well, we'll
Okay.
begin questions if anyone
Okay.
needs.
All right. And short course, you want to go through that?
Yeah, so we just talked about the first running leg. It is a bit uphill. We just want to give you a little bit of advance warning there. But then you get to cool it down with a nice swim coming back. Uh, the By the way, for those who say, wait a minute, this short course is different from what I remembered or what it used to be. Uh, Once again, when the pot, when the uh, actually this would be the town of Wellfleet, switched around the ponds on us. They sort of like left us no choice. Uh, these are the only three ponds close to each other, within reasonable distance of the finish line. So we have to use these three. But so after you swim across Gull, you'll now be thinking pink flags. Remember, it was yellow flags going up to the top of Gull, and then you swam down. Pink flags, and you'll be running with the long course racers as well. So you'll have a little more company, or plenty of company. Uh, that is all trail leading past the 2 mile mark and all the way to the entrance of Long Pond, which is that pond that has a 3 mile mark in it right now. Um, you'll swim Long Pond, come out. Once again, along with the long course racers, you are going to run for a short distance on that paved road. It's called Long Pond Road. And then off we go into the woods again, past the 4 mile mark and coming down around to Cahoon Hollow Road, which is before the 5 mile mark. That also is a paved road. But just stay on the right-hand side. We've got signs to warn motorists, and there are not that many motorists on any of these roads, especially on a Saturday morning. So after you'll get a what we'll call a bit of a splash and short swim in Great Pond, uh, and you'll come out, and now it's
Do you want to mention how dire you get to look at it, but you don't get to swim in it?
right. That was the pond they took away from us, that you'll be running by on this last leg of the race for everyone. But you are on it's very scenic sand roads, firm sand roads. You'll and that's really all the way till you get practically to the 7 mile mark. You're on yeah, right
Yeah.
there, you're on Lawrence Road. So you will be running on pavement for a short stretch there, as well as pavement down Long Pond Road to the finish, which is at the Copper Swan Inn, which you will probably notice to your right any of the times you drive into Wellfleet before the race.
All right. Okay. So let me go off a share. If anyone needs to see the athlete's guide, it's right here. Here's, I'll give you just a second. And then let's go off share. And do you want to answer some questions?
I do. One of the things that we did want to say was to talk to you about the ponds. This summer, we've had a bit of an issue on the Cape where I would say maybe a dozen or so ponds have for periods of several weeks, in one case, I think almost 2 months, um, had the the association that measures the water quality in the ponds has found that the presence of cyanobacteria, which is like a plankton-based bacteria from algae blooms, it causes sensitive skin. It's very dangerous to pets, to animals. and it can lead to complications in humans. So we've had that in a number of ponds, none of the Wellfleet ponds at all. Plus the ponds are, and churro ponds, those ponds are tested on a regular basis as well for just, things like E. coli and other bacteria. Anyways, that brings me to just last week, the very first pond in our race, Snow Pond, was found to have some cyanobacteria blooms, algae blooms. And so as of today, we're not racing there. Now, it's tested every Monday. We're going to see what tomorrow's testing looks like. Also, Kathleen and I, because the town stopped testing after the summer, we're going to be testing all the ponds ourselves for cyanobacteria as well as for E.
For E.
coli
coli, yeah.
and other bacteria. So we'll let you know if something comes up, and we're hopeful though that the testing of Snow Pond tomorrow comes up clean.
Yeah, it usually takes them like a day or so. So we'll post. And if not, Snow Pond's actually an easy pond to go around. So we'll mark that if that continues to throw a red flag. Oh, I also wanted to mention USAT memberships. There's a few of you that still need your USAT membership. And I realize this isn't a triathlon, but USA Triathlon is our sanctioning body. It's where our insurance is held. So everyone has to be a member of the USAT, even if it's a 1 day pass, which is the bronze. So if you've been getting emails that say your registration's not done, you still need your USAT number, don't ignore it. Go ahead and take care of that now because it's a lot harder to do on race day. You'll still have to use your phone and a credit card. You'll still have to go online to do it, but reception isn't always great throughout Wellfleet. So it might be a lot harder to do on race day. So if you could take care of that now, that would be much appreciated.
Okay.
Okay, so you ready? You got lots of questions.
All right, so let's talk about there is no chip timing, and the reason why there is no chip timing is for the 3 years that we've had this race approved, we've had a different course approved each year, and I already know that for next year our course will have to be different. So I think it's just the nature of this course and the fact that we're traversing 13, 14 miles of uh, ecologically sensitive soil and water. So you will get a finishing time, and that's it. You don't wear a bib. We will
We mark you all
mark
over.
right,
So
right in the forehead. Did you say?
right in the forehead. Now you will have your swim cap, which of course we provide. We'll have your race number on it. You'll be marked on your arms. And I think we might put your race number. Usually for triathlons, of course, your age is on your calf. We might just put your bib instead. No one needs to know your age. But we'll definitely put your arms, or if you're wearing some kind of sleeves, we'll put it in your hand. We'll put it somewhere so that way we can see who you are. We're also tracking you not with a timer thing, but we have clipboards, old-fashioned tracking as you go past certain sections of the trail, particularly ones that like we want to make sure you didn't get lost somewhere in the woods. How you get lost, I'm not sure because literally those pink flags are everywhere. But just in case. We want to make sure that you guys, you've kind of made it throughout different parts of the course. And that way, maybe if you have a sprained ankle or something like that, and you haven't gotten to a certain pond, we can be like, hey, we haven't gotten Bruce yet. We need to go back and find out where he is, just in case he had some kind of issue that we need to be able to help with.
Not
So,
lost.
not lost, right? So,
Okay.
so we will be doing that. Okay.
Um, A question about solo athletes using a rest tube. Yes, solo athletes may elect to use a rest tube. Show it again for anyone who's come on late. Instead of a safer swimmer buoy, but it has to be your rest tube. We have enough of these for the teams, for both members of the teams on a loaner basis. And the reason why we want our teams to have these really mostly has to do with the tethering. those teams that are tethered, that's like one more thing between, if we had the safer swimmer buoy, and then you've got, many of our athletes will be wearing pole buoys, and then you got a tether in between, and it could turn into a not a good situation. So that's why we're doing it that way. I know that a number of our participants this year have purchased rest tubes this summer, and I don't know if it's too late. I'm not about to take a guess on whether or not Amazon or rest tube could ship that fast.
Well, I think that you should, if you're not sure, talk to Bruce about the article that's coming out in Wall Street Journal about how things are so delayed and so forth. But
Oh, yeah, Bruce is in the Wall Street Journal. I forgot. Well, okay,
that's
we've
right.
given him
So we got
the
that.
thing there.
Speaking of other famous people, I did see Chris Douglas on a little while ago. I know he showed his face. I'm not sure if he's still on or not, but a shout out just in case. Chris and Chipper are the host of the Low Tide Boys at our personal, you know, podcast. I was gonna say Bible, but the there we go. Nice clap from Amy. The Chris and Chipper have so much useful information for swim run. So if you're still like, what do I do about this? You've got like several days now to practice before the big race. Check out their podcast, their website. They really
Yeah,
have just done a fantastic job. Lots of
I'm sure Chris won't mind, but we may throw a couple of questions to him, particularly those having to do with how to practice this fine art that the sport is. And Chris has kind of seen it over the
oh,
years,
there's
and yeah,
yep,
and
there we go. Gotcha. Thanks, Chris.
so we'll get there.
Wait, but
Yeah,
while I'm doing famous people and shout outs, I just one more. So Team Envol, I believe there's probably a few of you that are on right now. I know Dave's on right there. So another amazing resource for swim run. The team they have, remember that I mentioned to you the very first slide that we have, there is a clinic that team members are doing. And that is 3 to 4 on Friday. Let me
right, with packet pickup starting at 4.
oh good. I just for a second there I had a little brain thing there. So 3 to 4, and that's at Long Pond. If any of you joined them last year, it's at the same place at Long Pond Beach. And that's Long Pond Wellfleet. Every town on the Cape has a Long Pond. So make sure in your GPS that you're putting in Wellfleet.
Yeah, I almost think with packet pickup now being at Gull Pond that maybe we can talk Emily and Dave into, no, can't be
No,
done.
no, just space wise, I think that that's going to be tough.
There's plenty of room there.
So you guys will be at Long Pond, and they were so helpful last year. And there's a Q&A. So if you guys want to jump on YouTube at any time this week, they did a Q&A, a gear Q&A last week, I think it was. And then last year there was actually a Q&A for new to swim run. So if you look through our YouTube channel you'll find that one as well.
That was
That was
Chris.
helpful. Was that? Oh, it was Chris. I'm
Chris and
sorry,
Chipper
Chris.
did.
You're right. I thought Team Envol did one too. No, maybe not. We did a great one with Chris. Now I remember that completely, that it was Chris.
Good.
Sorry.
All right, well, let's try to zip through the questions here. For hydration, you do not need to bring your own cup or container. Not a terrible
Oh,
idea, but we will be using
it's
plastic
plastic.
cups.
Sorry.
So
Hopefully next year we'll not
some sort
everybody.
of recyclable.
Yeah. I realize that for some of you that have been doing swim run a long time, it's just natural to have your own cup. But we have so many of our triathlon community that has started to do swim run, like because our this swim run is so short compared to most of the others. It's like a good way of kind of dipping your toe in. So our triathlete athletes aren't as used to bringing their own stuff. So hopefully we'll be able to get back to that so we're not wasting so much.
I imagine our first timer number is pretty high.
Mhm.
All right, so of course, okay, we talked about the aid stations. I was worried about cutoff times, and
Oh,
let's you got
and the
that.
cutoff time that I think that you saw in the athlete's guide, I thought we had updated it for this new, because since we're starting a year, we're starting an hour later than last year, and so some of those times might have
Right,
been.
so it's 10 o'clock to Snow, 12 o'clock to Gull, 12:30 to Long, and 1:30 to Great Pond. I'm going to just circle this so that after this meeting, I'll go to the athlete's guide and make sure that those were updated. But
All right. So sorry about that confusion. Um, all right.
if you park at the VIP, there's not an easy way to get to the start line by foot. Um, you would want to take the shuttle bus. It's kind of like you're doing the Boston Marathon, and yeah, you drive to Hopkinton and you think you can walk over the starting line, but you realize that best to just take the bus.
So that reminds me though, if you have VIP parking, you're just going to walk over to the Congregational Church. If you hadn't picked up your packet, you're going to have to do that anyway. Because the buses will be coming and going from the Congregational Church parking lot, both distances.
Right. Car keys, someone was worried about that. I'm a huge car key hider because I mean that's
Yeah,
if
that's
we
yeah.
drive
Just did
somewhere to
that
go
today.
train, we
Yeah.
just do it all the
Um,
time. But do you get any
We'll have the
suggestions?
box.
The
Yeah, I
box?
wouldn't give it to me personally because I'll be in a number of different ponds. I don't want to dunk your keys. But we'll have that box at the start of both races. So if you throw them in the box, then that whole box is going to the finish line. So for both of them, so it'll be two boxes. So if you want to just throw your keys in there, just get them out before you go.
Right, right.
Okay.
The buoys for sighting. Every pond has a big orange buoy at the end. Some of the longer ponds, and when I say longer, I'm talking about maybe over typical sprint distance, 400 yard course. Those some of our ponds that are 600 or 800 yards, we will have intermediate buoy or buoys along the way. Uh, we will add buoys if for some reason we have a foggy morning that might be possible. But uh, are we doing yellow buoys along the way and orange at the end? I
That's a
don't
good
know if
question. No, let's just do orange.
our swim
Just
coordinator's
orange.
been, yeah.
Yeah, because I have it. Yeah, just yeah.
Stay within 20, 25 yards of the buoy. There's a couple of spots in this race, say on Gull Pond, for example, that if we did not have mid-mark buoys, I'm worried we'd have people all over the pond. And if someone were in trouble, one of our lifeguards or spotters, you know, wouldn't see it. So that's the reason why we have some of the intermediate buoys, plus for sighting as well.
Okay.
What's next?
Let's see, we got a couple things I've been skipping around. Um, the Chris put in the chat his website for Low Tide Boys. So if you need that, you can just click on it there. And then Eric, thank you for also posting last year's Q&A with Chris. That is also in your chat. You can find it for the YouTube. All right, and
Okay,
then I
sure.
skipped. All right.
That's right. The next one had to do with long course solo people. Yes, you do not need a swim buoy if you've got a rest tube wrapped around your waist. Yes. Um, if an athlete needs to switch from long to short course, who do they reach out to? They don't have to, right, Kathleen? They can go right into their
They should be able to, you should be able to go
conservation
into
email.
your
Yeah.
into your participant account and you can get to that through your email. If you have trouble with that, I put Maureen's email in the chat. So it's maureen@neevents.com, but I put it there. So you can send her a note, but first please try to get into your athlete account and do it there first. And that's also where you can add your USAT number. I think Eric was having trouble with the bronze membership, but you shouldn't. You shouldn't be having trouble. So that could be a USAT issue. Um, ask Maureen. She is a whiz at all of that, and she is much friendlier than I am. So do the Maureen at knee events.
But USAT memberships don't they have to be paid with by credit card or something because they're afraid
That's why
about
you do it through
cash?
the account. Yeah, yeah, it was that's there's a whole thing with that. But you'll definitely want that beforehand. All right. So Let's see. Sorry, we're looking through all the
All right.
questions. Thank you
So,
guys all for participating through the chat.
yeah, so now we're on to whether or not buoys and paddles are allowed. I
Oh,
presume you mean pole buoys. Um, First off,
sorry. Can I back
you
up real
have a
quick
different
then?
question?
No,
Okay.
I just want to finish answering the one that I started to, because now as I read down, Eric had another thing. Eric, you can't, Amy, thank you for putting the USA Triathlon membership link. You can't get your membership through that though. You have to do it through the race. So the bronze memberships are what we used to call one-day memberships, and you can only do it through a race. I don't know why they do that. So you have to go in through the many emails that we've sent you, or a few at least, that they're on the bottom. There's like a link, like get your USAT number, or through your athlete account. You have to click on that because it has to kind of go in through the back door. So try that first. And if that doesn't work, then ask Maureen. Please do not try to purchase on race day because you might not even have phone reception. And you need your phone to be able to do, you have to do it online. So, okay.
Okay.
All right.
So
So,
yes, as far as equipment that's allowed and not allowed, yes, scroll down the athlete's guide, go to the frequently asked questions, because that's a frequently asked question, and you'll see what can be. But yes, I think the majority of the participants, I might be wrong here because we do have a lot of first timers, and but I think the majority of the participants in the race will probably have either or both buoy, pole
paddles.
buoy,
Yeah.
and paddles. And
Use your paddles.
just in case you're wondering, paddles come in all sizes. This is a somewhat large one, and I was going to
Yeah.
kind of bring
You'd
pull
bring
a
mine?
motor,
Oh,
yes,
I,
a
I gave
smaller
mine
one,
to
but
Gwen's
yeah,
got
like
mine.
that.
So
And then pole
and then
buoys, the
and
pole,
then this is
yeah,
the is this the big one? Is this the
no,
the
that's
mega
not the
one?
big one. Chris would be surprised you don't know this.
I don't know. Well, mine's much smaller. This one's Andy's. But this is, or you could use your like a regular pull buoy. But if you want, this is my own personal advice. You take it or leave it. You want something that's attached to you. It just makes it easier to hang on to, so you're not like working your thighs throughout the whole swim. But if you go to Low Tide Boys, Chris has a whole segment on how to attach your like to attach a cord to it, and it includes a little straw. So just a little hint there. But you
Right,
can use
that's a
that. Yeah.
good spot to look to see about that. And you can do that with a swimming pole buoy as well. So you can bring your pole buoy. I've seen people at races, they just carry their little pole buoy as they run from water crossing to water crossing. But it seems to make a lot more sense if you just buy a little bit of elastic and put it around your waist, and then you just swivel it around, and when you're about to swim and you're ready to go. So uh, let's move to
Okay. So spectators.
spectators.
All right. So Kelly asked, should spectators at the short course park at Gull Pond and then drive to the finish? That's a great plan. So if you can either that or you can take the bus and then end up back at the Congregational Church, which is up the or down the road from like Long Pond. So you could end up seeing your athlete in more than one pond, although it's going to be a little harder to do. But yeah, if you see them at Gull at the start, they'll run around through through the woods, and then you'll see them swim down, and then you can go right to the finish if you want to and join in the festivities there as you wait for your athlete. But you'll go park back in the Congregational Church unless you have that VIP parking. I think there's like a couple of VIP parking spaces left.
Another option, just well, actually, are we still asking for volunteers? I
Oh
was
yeah, we could
say
still use a few
another
volunteers.
option, if you have a friend or family member with you who might get a little restless just kind of standing there and waiting, it's ask them to volunteer. They could be on the course, and they can be helping direct everyone. They get a look of everybody, including you. So and they get free lunch and swag bag
And
and all this.
appreciation, they'll clap it.
Appreciation.
All right. So the next question, so we talked about spectators, and then Melissa asked about biking from the VIP to the start. If you biked to Boston Beach, you could take Collins Road. I'm trying to think of how you would get there from the, I don't know if that's really possible.
Well, you could ride bike along Route 6 because there is a bike
I
lane,
know, but that's
but
not good.
we always worry about that. It's a high-speed road. And then you can take Collins Road, or actually it'll be Rose Road and Collins Road to get to South Pamet Road to get to Boston Beach. So
Right.
yes, you can get out there any way you wish. I mean, you could take an Uber, but
No, but we
we
also
we
have
we have the buses.
buses.
Yeah.
And if you ride your bike there, your bike is then stuck there because I can't bring it back in my car. So, but we do have buses. They are not town sponsored by buses. I think somebody asked that. We have rented buses and their drivers. So we have two or three of them, and they're just going to keep running the cycle. Congregational Church to Boston Beach, back and around. And then when the short course starts, same deal, but going to Gull Pond. So they'll be able to drop off athletes. You'll hang out there for a little bit until the start. And then if you have loved ones that are watching you, the buses will bring them back around. We won't forget them.
Okay. Um, Go Pond has no address, GPS type address. So what we put in the athlete's guide is the address of a house on the corner of the road that leads in Schoolhouse Hill Road that leads to Go
I
Pond.
didn't know. I
So
didn't know
that's
that.
that's how
Oh,
that's all we can suggest.
the
However, the kids steal every interesting sign in the town of Wellfleet, like Old Fire Road or things like that. And they constantly steal the road for Gull Pond Beach. Um, but you will notice a new one
there's yeah,
at
brand new
the
sign.
at the entrance to the beach.
It's and amazingly, it's off Gull Pond Road, so that makes life easy. But Maureen has actually pinned it because we did that for volunteers, so she can change the link in the athlete's guide to be the pin, which is right at the beach. In case if you put it in, here's the issue with Gull Pond though. If you put it in your GPS and you put in Gull Pond, it brings you to the other side of Gull Pond, which is not even a public beach. I have no idea why Google does that. They do stupid things sometimes. So don't put it in your GPS like Gull Pond, because you'll end up the wrong spot.
Put in the address I gave.
Okay,
It'll
and
be
then
perfect.
go to this person's house, or Mo will change the link to the pin that she has. Either way. Okay, ready?
Okay.
Um,
Long Pond has a sandbar at the dog leg. Yes, it does. Long Pond's actually two ponds or two kettle holes that the water level is just a little bit higher so that it's always shallow between the first kettle hole that comprises the first part of Long Pond and then the second one. And this year, water levels are historically low. And so in essence, the long pond swim is kind of like two swims. Swim for a while, and then you're going to probably be walking through shallow water before you dive in and start swimming again. So I think some people will love that, but that's just that's what we've been handed for this year, and hopefully we'll have some good rain this fall after our race, for replenishing the ponds.
I hope so. All right. Pond temperature. You're gonna check this week and put that out. You
Yeah,
text the other day. Did you?
when we're out, we checked the other day. Actually, Bruce Prangley, who's on this call, and I tried and tried and tried to get a number like 70 or 71 or 72 in the ponds, and we could not do it. On the other hand, we couldn't get anything higher than 74. So it was really 73 or 74, and it was the larger ponds that tended to be towards 73 and the smaller ones towards 74. Nothing's happened weather-wise or is going to happen that is going to change this in any major way. I imagine the temps are going to be approximately 70 or low 70s on race day. So rejoice, veteran swim runners who are used to 56-degree temperatures. You'll have a nice day next weekend.
And then the question, Kelly, that's a good question. Kelly asked the athletes, we'd said in the athletes guide that the buses will turn around as soon as the long course and the short course um, starts, that the buses will turn around and take the spectators back. But for a Gull Pond, you guys are running all the way up and then spectate, and then it'd be nice for your spectator to be able to watch you swim down. So I think that we're fine with that, that
Oh,
the
the bus
buses are there for
contract
a
with
little
the bus
bit.
company,
Yeah, I
yeah.
think that they're good till like 10:30 or something like that. So swim quick. No, only kidding. The I think, think that we're still okay with that. Um so we can take spectators back down, give a little bit of time for you guys to swim. So that way they get to see you. So that would be much
Good.
more fun. Tri-suit weather, Jessica asked. Yes, tri-suit. Yeah,
It
your
tries
tri-suit
to
would be
would be
fine.
fine, and Chris is referring to the big wetsuit. Is that the one you have? Um,
Right now, it's been so long since
it's
I've
made
worn it.
by
I don't know.
Arc, which has become a major player. They're kind of like the Nike of swim run, and they make some great stuff,
Yeah, but
and
it's
with
thin.
good
I think
reason.
that's the point.
Yeah,
So yeah, that's a really thin suit. It's not like I know some of you that do swim run in colder places. Your suit's a bit thick, but mine's like super thin. So if you want to wear, yes, Jessica, if you want to wear your tri-suit, that's fine. You don't need hopefully you weren't planning on wearing a wetsuit anyway. It's kind of hard to run in, but tri-suits are great.
I haven't seen any of the usual suspects, but it's very likely there'll be some guy in a Speedo doing this race. So don't
It
whatever
works.
you want.
Whatever works for
Yeah,
you.
yeah, we'll be good.
Okay. All right. That is the last of our questions. Is there anybody else who has any other question that you would like either us to answer, or as I mentioned before, Chris Douglas is on, or Dave Dammer from Team On Ball?
Uh,
Um,
yeah. Uh, Otherwise, this will be one of our shorter meetings.
yeah, there we are. Love
Okay.
it. All right. Thank you all for being on. We appreciate you taking your Sunday evening for us. We look forward to seeing you either Friday at Packet Pickup or the clinic, and Saturday morning, of course. And no, we will have no rain. So so everyone please keep saying that. We'd like to pass that along to all the
Rain's no
powers be.
problem for swim run. Obviously, it's
Storm
40
is
mile an
storm.
hour winds and thunder and lightning. That's what we want to stay away from.
All right.
So,
Well, thank you guys so
all
much.
right.
You have a great week. And
Thank you.
for anyone who, if you have friends that didn't get a chance to see this, we will put it up on YouTube on our YouTube channel tomorrow. So thank you. Bye.